Hey guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. My name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And if you clicked on my video because of the thumbnail and you're like, hey, that's the kind of homeschooling I want to do, where you're sipping a cool drink and you're reading a book and you're enjoying the sunshine, then you're in the right place. But I'm here to tell you, relaxed homeschooling is not just laying by the pool. And today you're going to find out what relaxed homeschooling is and how to do it in your home. But first I want to share with you that I'm a part of a collaboration today hosted by Leilani from Living with Eve. She's hosting a collaboration all about the different homeschool styles so that we can help parents who are interested in homeschooling or parents who've been homeschooling for a couple of years who kind of haven't found their rhythm yet and kind of haven't decided what they want their homeschool to be like. So we're going to share with you each of the styles. So make sure that you check out the playlist that's oh my goodness. Make sure you check out the playlist that is listed in the description box below. So let's talk about relaxed homeschooling. So when I was first starting out, I did come from public school. I taught public school for 13 years. And so I was very used to my day being scheduled from 7:45 in the morning until I left at 3:45. So when we started homeschool with my son, that's exactly what I tried to replicate, and that wasn't for us. So I did my research just like all other mamas who are trying to figure out things to make their housework better. I did my research and I came upon relaxed homeschooling. I'm like, that is what we need. And so little by little, as we went through the process, we have became relaxed homeschoolers. So let's talk about what is a relaxed homeschool. First off, let me just say, I'm going to be looking at my notes. So if I'm looking down, please excuse that. Relaxed homeschooling to me is a combination of some structure, because I'm the kind of person that needs just a little bit of structure in my day, and some unschooling. So you can also check out another video on unschooling. It will be in the link of all the other videos. So that's what relaxed homeschooling is. It's some structure with some unschooling, and that works best at our house. So unschooling is just a learning naturally. They learn on their own. They learn in their own time. So you get a little bit of structure and a little bit of learning on your own, or interest-led learning, which is a really big thing. I like to say that relaxed homeschooling is kind of like a hybrid. It's a hybrid of unschooling. It's not totally unschooling, but it's kind of like unschooling. And that's just kind of the way that I view it. So relaxed homeschooling is going to include maybe some seat work and maybe not. Now, when I say seat work, I don't mean at a desk or anything like that. I mean, I may hand my son something I want him to do. He may sit on the couch. He may lay on the bed. So when I say seat work, I don't mean actually sitting in like at a table or a desk. So relaxed homeschooling can include some seat work. It probably will include some unit studies. Those are pretty common in relaxed homeschools. And one of the biggest things is it doesn't take a lot of time. The work that you're asking your kiddos to do doesn't take a lot of time, and it leaves a lot of room for those interests and that learning in a natural way at their own time in things they're interested in. So that's what really sold me on it, because that's what I really wanted for my son. So we're going to talk about what that kind of looks like, or how you can establish it in your house, or kind of what works for us. So the first thing that I would recommend you doing if you want to go more towards this approach of homeschooling is to discuss with your child and your spouse. You get everybody together and have a meeting and discuss and decide on what your non-negotiables are. That means those are the things that you want your kiddos to learn, that you have decided these are the most important things, and I want my child to make sure he's doing this in our homeschool. So you sit down and you talk about that. And that's where the structured learning comes from, because relaxed homeschool parents do have things that they require their kiddos to learn. And they can teach it in a traditional way or in some other way. But there are non-negotiables. So in our house, our non-negotiables are math, because that's not something my son would naturally pick up on his own. He just isn't interested. So math is a non-negotiable, morning basket is a non-negotiable, and our unit study is a non-negotiable. Those are things that I want to hit every single day, along with outside time. Those are things we must do that I think are very important in our homeschool. So those are our non-negotiables. And what we do with those non-negotiables is we keep our lessons very short and sweet so that he has the rest of the day to kind of explore on his own and do the kind of learning that he wants to do. We skip the busy work, so we look for things like math curriculum and things like that that doesn't have a ton of busy work, that it teaches the lesson, gets right to the point, the child can practice, and then we move on. So short and sweet lessons and skip that busy work. We also like to use unit studies because unit studies tend to combine all the subjects together, which means it's cutting down on the time that you're spending doing those non-negotiables. So if you can find a unit study that includes everything, then go for it because you're going to be able to hit so much in such a short period of time. The second thing that you need to do to be a little more relaxed as a homeschooler is discuss with your child what they want to learn and what they want to do. Now, coming from public school where we've always been told what we're going to learn and nobody asked us what we wanted to learn, sometimes it's really hard for my son to come up with something he's interested in. But now that we've been doing this for a couple of months, he gets really excited and he has kind of made a plan for himself that every week he wants to learn about a different topic. And that's something he set up on his own. I had nothing to do with it. And so, one week we're learning about World War II, and the next week we're learning about ninjas. And if that's what he's interested in, then that's great. So you let your kiddos sit with you and tell you, make a list, like a bucket list of things they want to learn about, places they want to go, things they want to do. And you can explain, we probably can't get to all these, but we'll do the best we can. And that'll just give you an idea of where to start. And since you're not spending a ton of time sitting down doing book work, they can go and explore those interests and they can start checking things off of that list, and you will be amazed at how much your kiddos learn when they pick the topic. It's amazing. The next thing you can do is create a rhythm. We do not have a strict homeschool schedule. Now, when we first started out, over a year ago, because it's our second year, when we first started out, oh my goodness, I had that strict schedule because that's what I had came from and that's how I functioned. But I have totally loosened up. So relaxed homeschoolers, more than a schedule, they have a rhythm. We kind of know how our day flows, and I don't write it down. I don't write down the schedule. We don't have it posted anywhere. We just kind of know this is how our morning goes. These are the things we do in the morning. These are the things we do in the afternoon. These are the things we do at night. And we create those rhythms, and we kind of know what's happening, and that's what works for us. So we're not held by a schedule. Our time is ours. We decide what we want to do with it, when we want to learn, what subjects we want to do, and what time we want to do them. So if we don't get to morning basket in the morning, it's okay because we can do it later in the day. Another thing about us is our days look totally different. Our Tuesdays may look totally different from our Wednesdays depending on the interest of my son and what we have planned in morning basket and, just what comes up that day. So, if a play date arises, the great thing is we are not stuck to that schedule and we can go. We can go to the park or we can go on a field trip because we are in charge of our time. And that's what I love about being a relaxed homeschooler. Our time is ours. So it does allow us to be flexible. The last thing I recommend is to kind of slow down with your planning. And that coming from me, the fact that I have learned that is such a big deal. I'm a planner. I planned when I worked in public school. I loved planning. I still love to plan. I'm obsessed with all things planners and planning. But I've learned that for my child and for my homeschool that I need to slow it down. I don't need to at the beginning of the year to sit down and plan the entire year because things come up and things change and curriculum doesn't work sometimes. And so planning the whole year is really just a waste of time for me. If that's what you like to do, that's great. And if that works for you, that's great. I'm not knocking your style. I'm just saying that didn't work for us. And to become relaxed, I had to let go of that big planning that I used to do. Because I like to plan that way, and I had to plan out our weeks and things like that, I would become a box checker. And so I was more concerned with, are we getting this finished? Let's check this off. Instead of, is my child engaged? Is he really learning? Is he enjoying himself? Are we building a relationship with each other, or are we just checking boxes? And I didn't want to live like that anymore. So So we don't do that anymore. We do not check those boxes off anymore. We really take it pretty slow and easy. So one thing I can recommend is if you still do like to plan, just take it a week at a time. If you still want to put things down in a plan book and you want to plan, take it a week at a time. That way, if things come up and things change, you can rearrange it and you can make it work into your schedule. Also, maybe not write it down on a specific day. Just kind of label it day 1, day 2, and it really doesn't matter what day it lands on. You can just pick up and go with the next day. So if you still need a plan, that may be a good thing for you. One of the things that will help you kind of slow down your planning is to make sure that you allow that time for that interest-led learning so your kiddos can spend time learning about the things they're interested in. So don't fill up every minute of your day. Allow that time for your kids to just explore whatever it is that they want to learn. Now, the biggest thing that I've done to kind of help me slow down on that planning and to kind of curb my type A personality is I have started backwards planning. Backwards planning is where you kind of have an idea of what you would like to do for the week, but you don't necessarily go and write it down. Like, I kind of know what I want to do for morning basket, Tuesday through Friday. And the rest, I just kind of wait and just wait and see. I just wait and see what happens. I see what we get accomplished. And what happens is I start with a blank lesson plan at the beginning of the week. And as we finish each day, so on Monday, when I come home from co-op, I'll go to that lesson plan and I'll fill in the things that we covered at co-op. Or anything extra that he's done during the day. If he's read a book or if he's watched a video about something, I'll fill those things in. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at the end of every day, I go and write down all that we accomplished. I'm not pre-planning, I'm not checking boxes. I'm writing down all the great things that we accomplished that day. If we played a math game, if he wrote a poem, that was something out of the blue that he did on his own the other day that I didn't have to ask him to do because he was given the freedom to learn about what he wanted to, and the way he expressed what he learned was through a poem, guys. And for my son, who hates writing and really doesn't enjoy school very much, he wrote a poem, and I was like blown away. So I jotted that down. Anything extra, any field trips, any books we read, all that kind of stuff is written down on my lesson plan form. What I'll do at the end of this video is show you that form and tell you where I got it. So if you're interested in backwards planning, you can do that as well. I actually saw it on Pinterest, and I've seen Project Happy Home. I've seen her use it in her planner, and I was like, okay, that's something I want to have. And so that's what I use to backwards plan. And it has really changed, and it's really helped me to relax. And when you get to the end of the week, you can kind of see if there's some areas you might need to fill in. Like for this week, letting him lead. He's doing the non-negotiables, but letting him lead the other things. We're filling in the chart at the end of the day, and I told him yesterday, I'm like, we really need to do some art and music. Is there anything you'd like to do, for art and music? And he's like, oh, I'll look up Art Hub for Kids and see if there's a ninja on there, because we'd been talking about ninjas. And so that's what he did. And so it allows you to kind of see what you might want to fill in. And if you don't want to fill in, that's fine too. Backwards planning is just writing down what you've accomplished. I can't even talk today. It's writing down what you've accomplished, and when you look back on it, you're like, wow, we really did do a lot in a week. And we had a good time doing it, and our relationship is still intact, and my son actually learned something. So that works for us. So anyway, so that's what relaxed homeschooling is. It's really just a hybrid of unschooling. It's having non-negotiables along with interest-led learning and having a rhythm more than a schedule. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions about relaxed homeschooling, definitely let me know in the comments. I love talking about homeschooling, so I'll get back to you and answer your questions. But now I want to show you what the lesson plan form looks like. So here's the planner page that I was telling you about. This is actually from School Nest. I found her on Instagram, so definitely go follow her there. She does have a free version of this. If you sign up for her email subscription, she will send you the link to like her freebies, like her reproducibles, and it looks very similar to this. This looks kind of the same, but it doesn't have the colors. It's in black and white, and it doesn't have this at the top. This one I actually purchased for $4.50, which I thought was very reasonable. It comes with a couple of pages. So it says lessons at the top, and then you have like a perpetual calendar, I think that's what it's called, where this is from 2018 all the way to 2029. So this is going to be good for a while. And you just circle the month, you circle the days that it covers, and you circle the year. So you have a place for your subjects, and I just write in our subjects on the tabs here. This is for your book list, and then I also, if we don't read that many books, because we don't in a week, I'll just write in like field trips we went in or things like that. And then this is a daily checklist. This is where I put our devotional, our morning basket, making sure we get outside time, read aloud, those kind of things go here. And at the bottom you can put your student, so if you have more than one student, you can make a sheet for each one of them, and you do the year, the term, and the week. So this is what a blank one looks like. And then let me show you. I've been using it for 2 weeks now, and I really like it. So this was our first week trying it out, and I would just sit down each day and see it's just done by subject. And so I have like nature study and science, history, math, language arts, writing, art and music, and other. So whatever else we do, if we watch a movie or whatever it is, I'll put it there. And I just go in and fill in anything that we've done, and it really makes me feel pretty good about our week. And this week was actually a short week. It was only a 3-day week. And then this is this week's. Oh, and it has a place for notes on the back, so I wrote some notes on the back. And this is from this week's. So already, now we didn't even have co-op this week. This is just from this week. These are the things that I've filled in so far, and our week is not even finished. And this is all the learning that we've done so far. So this is really helpful for me to use. You could actually do this on any lesson plan form. Don't feel like you have to go buy this. You could do this in a notebook. Backwards planning can happen anywhere, and if you want to keep it even simpler, write it down in a notebook or a lesson plan book that you already have. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. We love relaxed homeschooling. It's what works for us, but remember, do what's best for your family, and the only way you're going to know what's best is by doing your research. And one way to do that is to watch those videos in the playlist and watch other people on YouTube. That's how I got my ideas for our homeschool, and find out what works best for you and run with it. And you may not find it the first time, because we sure didn't. It took us a while to become relaxed homeschoolers, but now that we have, I don't think we'll ever go back. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe.